Hi viewers, my name is Dr. Jacinta Ndegwa and I am a clinical psychologist. Welcome to my channel themed The Fullness of Life. This is a psychology channel in which we will embark on a journey together where we will address issues on mental wellness. You probably are familiar with the sight of a person collecting papers on the roadside, the body and clothes all black except for the eyes and the teeth. Now, if you are driving and such a person approaches you, the reaction is to quickly shut the windows. If you are walking, should he show any signs of moving towards you, then you move another direction. What comes into your mind when you see such a person? One time I walked through a marketplace accompanied by a young man, and there was a middle-aged man who was collecting papers and behaving very abnormally. As he approached, the young man who I was walking with looked at him closely, and surprised at what he saw, he said, "You mean this is Jack?" Then I asked him, "Who is Jack?" This is what he told me. Jack has been working at a construction site which I used to frequent. Some weeks back, I noticed that he was not as jovial as I used to know him. Then later he disappeared, and since then, I have never seen him until today. So when I heard this, I wondered, how did Jack end up here? Could anything have been done to prevent him from reaching up to here? Now that he is here, is there anything that can be done to restore him back to the construction site? This wondering continues up to date, and it is the one that has brought me to this platform so that we can team up with you. These questions are related to mental health. Although we see and judge the actions, we act what we think. What abnormal behaviors tell us is that they are abnormal thoughts which are being put into action. Before a person gets into a state of collecting papers where Jack had reached, he will have traveled a long, painful journey. This journey is not physical, and therefore it attracts little attention until it reaches the climax, like in the case of Jack. As I say, prevention is better than cure. The best remedy could have been to prevent Jack from getting to the stage of collecting papers. However, a more difficult task, and which is still possible, is to get Jack back to the construction site. Join me in this team as we play our role in trying to restore Jack back to the construction site and preventing another Jack from heading up to the marketplace. Now, none of us is immune to mental problems that drove Jack to where he had reached. There are many mental health issues that we confront on a daily basis which can easily lead us towards that direction. Think, for example, issues such as childhood traumas, addictions, breakups in relationships, divorce, cyberbullying, low self-esteem, loss and grief, depression, anxiety, and among many others. These are issues which are common in our society and which weigh heavily on us, preventing us from achieving our life goals. If left unattended, they can push us to a level that we are no longer able to perform our daily duties. Shall we then sit back and wait to get there, or to see others get there? As we engage in mental wellness issues in this channel, our goal will be to minimize the negative effects of these issues. Thereby, we'll be helping in building a mentally healthy society. Therefore, consider this channel a safe space and feel free to engage. We will bring you great insights each and every week, and we will together enjoy a healthy mental life. Now, the theme fullness of life is derived from an understanding that each one of us comes into this life with a purpose to fulfill. For this reason, we come endowed with capabilities which are unique to each individual. These capabilities, which we often refer to as talents, are aimed at propelling us forward towards achieving our life goals. They enable each one of us to excel where others would not, an indication that all of us deserve to live in excellence. For example, some excel in business, others in academia, and yet others as artists. That is why when a child is born, there is usually great rejoicing and celebration, with high expectations that this child will grow up to be a great person who will make a positive impact to the human race. But is this always the case? Do we all become great and make positive impact to the society? If the answer to these questions were yes, then the human society would be very comfortable to live in. Vices such as robberies or rapes, murders would never be witnessed in any society, since everybody would be busy working towards accomplishing their life goals in full realization of a time limit. However, since this has not always been the case, many of us live this life without ever fulfilling our purpose. So then, if all come into this life with a potential to fulfill a certain purpose, but many of us live it without ever fulfilling the purpose, this means there is a disconnect somewhere. There must be an enemy in between which acts as a hindrance. This channel looks into mental health issues as the enemy of our progress towards our destiny. These are issues which are not visible to other people, and what this means is that only the individual can deal with the problem before it blows out of proportion. But in most cases, the individual is unable to deal with it because in the first place he may not be aware of it, and secondly, most of the mental issues are associated with stigma. Indeed, any mention or sign to indicate like somebody has a mental problem is seen to be a great insult. The person suffers silently, and this internal suffering may result to him living an unfulfilled life in which he is not able to fulfill his life purpose. At times, the suffering may be so intense in such a way that it may cause the individual to exit this life before his time. So the goal of this channel is to help in identifying the hindrances to our destiny and explore healthy alternatives to deal with them. You will be challenged to make choices that will help you to enjoy the fullness of life in this world, thereby making it a better place to live in and at the same time inspiring others. Be sure to expect our episodes every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on our YouTube channel, The Fullness of Life. Refuse to settle for anything less than the best out of this life. You don't want to miss this. So bye for now and see you next week.